Hello guys, Gene here, Trey with G Squared Tactical. We just kind of wanted to do a follow-up on the Prodigy. As you know, we did quite a few videos on this gun. We never had any problems with it. Some people accused us of being biased. They called us Glock guys, so you know, I'm prepared for that. So I got my Glock stuff on today, you know, just because, you know, we're Glock guys, you know, not really, but that's what people say. And we had zero issues with this gun. In fact, all of 2022, out of all of the pistols that I purchased, I told everyone that this was my favorite. This was the gun that I enjoyed shooting the most, the one I'm most happy that I purchased. I actually just put 2 shots down range before we started this video, and that was rehashed for me, right? But people were saying, "Oh, you're being dismissive of other people's problems. That's not right. That's wrong. You shouldn't do that." Most people were saying that the problems they were having, that buying a 12-pound spring was fixing that problem. And if indeed they were having those types of problems, then that would make sense, right? So, but I liked the smoothness of the slide with the, you know, with the standard spring that came with it, which I believe was a 8 or 9 pound spring. I'm not totally sure. But just for giggles, I did go out and purchase a Wilson Combat 12-pound spring. The spring that's actually here is the one that came in the gun. I've already put the 12-pound spring in here, and I just want to kind of shoot it to see if, I guess, one, if we can, you know, finally have a failure that we've never had with this gun. It's been flawless for us, or just to kind of give our honest opinion about whether or not I think it shoots better. Now, I'm just going to put a couple magazines down range because we didn't really come here today to really shoot this gun. We had other ones we wanted to review, but I was in the safe and I saw this, and so I'm just going to shoot it, put a few rounds down range, see if it feels better than it did before, see if I feel like maybe there may be some you know, some truth to people having better experience with the 12-pound trigger. So let's just do that and see where we stand with this thing. So we had no problem. I think maybe my reflex may have gotten off. I ain't totally sure what that's about, but I mean, as you can see, it was flawless. As far as does it feel different than it did before, I would say you certainly can feel the difference. You certainly can feel, I'm not saying it's a better difference. Like I said, I liked it the way it was before. It was super smooth. The slide was super smooth to manipulate, and it felt as though it was a smoother shooter, I guess one might say. So yes, it does feel different, but I wouldn't necessarily say that it feels different in, you know, a good way necessarily. I mean, I think that I don't feel any more or any less confident with the 12-pound spring in there. I'm gonna put one more magazine through this thing with the 12-pound spring in here, and then I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna put the original back in there, you know, because it has been a while since I've shot it, so I don't want to be unfair and say that I remember that far back, because, you know, the truth of the matter is I probably don't. I am going to adjust this thing a little bit because, well, I'm just OCD, and you know, I suppose I want everything to be perfect. Well, I'm not going to adjust it with a fillet screwdriver. That's what
Hey, enough pressure, you can make anything work. Solid.
That's true, I guess. Yeah, put enough pressure on it, you might be able to. So we need to come to the right. So let's take it that way a little bit, see if we make any difference at all. All right, take 2, magazine 2 with the 12-pound spring. Let's try to focus a little better this time. Where's that thing hit?
Still a little left, but pretty close center.
You know, the having it, you know, spot on is just, you know, some hang up of mine, but more or less we were trying to see if we felt the difference with the 12-pound spring versus the 9-pound, I believe it is, that came with it. To me, I think there's a slight difference, but honestly I can't really remember. I can't tell. It feels just like the pleasurable gun that I shot before when we first got this thing, and as you can see, we've now put, what would that, 41 rounds through this gun. I haven't shot it since we did the last videos, and again, still flawless. So let's pause out for a minute, and we're going to change the spring out and put the original 9-pound back in there, and I can give you a fair assessment if I think it's better or worse. All right, we got it changed out. Takes a little minute, you know, takes a little bit more time than it does a traditional 1911, but we got the I think it's a 9-pound spring. If I'm wrong, I'm sure somebody will tell me, but we got it put in there, and I can already tell you just from racking the slide, in that sense anyway, there's a huge difference. You know, it has that smooth slide that I remember. Again, as you saw, we did not have any issues with the 12-pound spring, but we also have never had an issue with the 9-pound spring. So we're going to put some rounds down range. I will say, you know, I didn't have a whole lot negative to say about this gun, but I tell you, that little peep window or whatever in the top of the barrel there is driving me crazy, because it just inundates the glass of your reflex to the point you can it almost becomes, you know, not usable. And it doesn't really matter if you have the co-witnessing sights, because heck, you can't see through the window, it gets so bad. So they certainly need to fix that, and I hope on the next generation they'll rethink that whole situation. But we're just here today to see how it shoots with the different springs. So let's go ahead and do that, and maybe I can stop pulling left. I definitely got better with my shot, so I'm happy about that. It must have been me pulling the shot, but it was way more of a joy to shoot. Now, you know, some might say, well, yeah, but, you know, it's not reliable. But as you can see from all of our other videos, and then that right there, it was certainly reliable. And I said that I didn't notice much of a difference, but I tell you what, shooting them back to back like that, you can really tell a huge difference. So I definitely understand why it is that maybe Springfield wanted to put the lighter spring in there, because it certainly makes it a lot more of a joy to shoot this firearm. So, and again, it does make a huge difference. Now, again, if you're doing it for reliability reasons, well, we haven't really had reliability problems. So I'm gonna put about 15 more down range here, and we're gonna do a review on this Hex Dragonfly, this Springfields optic too, pretty soon. And I want to be fair and maybe put this optic on something else, but I'm not a huge fan of this optic, if I'm just being honest with you. It seems the dot seems to splatter out, and it's not my cataracts or whatever people say. I don't have any of that stuff, but as of right now, I'm not hugely impressed with the Hex Dragonfly reflex. But we're gonna maybe try to put it on something else, see if maybe we have a different opinion about it. But let's just shoot them out here. Tell you what, man, just such a sheer pleasure to shoot this gun. Like, it feels like shooting, you know, Trey Staccato, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's just a sheer pleasure to shoot. And if you really get on, and you know, Trey and I haven't been out to shoot since what did we figure? It's been 5 months probably.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time. So we're kind of getting back into the groove here. But never mind how we shot, it wasn't too bad. I kind of started reeling it in there. Never mind that, never mind the reflex, never mind our joy of shooting the gun. We just simply wanted to give our opinion on how we felt about the different weight springs, the 12-pound versus the original factory spring. Definitely more joyous to shoot with the original factory spring in there. But also we had no issues with a 12-pound spring. So I would say that there's probably some validity to you being able to go out and buy a 12-pound spring if you were one of the unfortunate people that had one of these firearms that would not function for you. I'd say there may be some truth to being able to buy a 12-pound spring and having a better functioning gun. So again, we weren't trying to just be dismissive towards anybody's issues. We just personally have had no issues, and we showed that today by putting the factory spring back in here. So we hope you guys enjoyed that. We hope that this kind of clarifies some things for you in our past videos. We hope that you will throw the thumbs up. Certainly hope that you subscribe. That's how we can keep doing this. And you have a blessed day, guys.